Hey everyone, I'm making this video because I had a number of people on social media try to argue with me about the environmentally friendly aspect of full-time RV living, and I didn't post this yet on our Williams's Wander account because I don't know, I forgot. So long story short, we went full-time in March and we travel in a 35-foot diesel pusher. It's a Winnebago. It's powered by diesel fuel. It has propane in it to run the fridge and the stove. It uses electricity to run every one of the other appliances in here. There's also a generator that runs on diesel if we were boondocking and needed to run stuff that way. We plug in with electricity at the sites that we go to. Good morning, Michelle. We plug into electricity and water at the sites that we go to. The water flow rates are terrible. They're around a gallon a minute, and some of them say they're up to like city water standards. They're not, and we have no additional valves that reduce the water in here. It just trickles out of the sink anyway. So a few things that you can do as an RVer to be more environmentally friendly before we even talk about consumption, because I have some consumption facts here. You could, if you're in a diesel, switch to biodiesel if you can safely run your engine on that. I would check that out first. If you're in like a Westie or something like that, I think you might be a little bit more ready to make the change. If you're driving a $250,000 rig around, you might not want to just switch over without actually researching it. A lot of RVers use disposable plates and stuff. I've seen that. Try to use obviously regular plates if you can. The gray and black tanks, so your POP and your gray water from washing dishes and using the shower. Try not to use any of the chemical cleaners that are in there, or if you found an environmentally friendly cleaner, go ahead and use that in there. Totally fine. Recycle. I'm looking at a pile of recycling behind the computer right now. Most RV parks don't have recycling. It is absolutely disgusting. And so I'm actually downloading this app called iRecycle. So if you're a full-time traveler and you can't find a place to do your recycling, I called, for instance, the city of San Antonio yesterday. They were like, yeah, unless you're a customer, basically, we don't recycle for you. So you got to go to a private place. And that just looked super frustrating because you either pay or they pay you. So I'm stocking up all our recycling. But this app called iRecycle is great help. So download that and see where there's recycling near you. And your tow car, like we tow our Jeep, and the reason we tow our Jeep is that it's paid off. The rig is paid off. We don't have any debts. And so I really didn't want to have to go buy another vehicle. And so we bought our RV based on what it could tow. And our tow vehicle runs on gas. A lot of people buy the more fuel efficient vehicles, smaller vehicles, so that there's not as much pressure on their rig. I see a lot of gas powered rigs out there that are just killing the environment and killing. Their emissions are terrible. Their tow capacities are not being observed. It's absolutely horrible. I also see what's funny. There's an electric car down the way and they charge up every night. They plug into electricity here. The electricity from the grid here comes from gas. It's gas powered grid electricity here. And so while they're doing the environment a favor, sure, with emissions, I'm not sure that everybody realizes that the electricity that's in the grid usually comes from coal or gas or hydroelectricity in some places if they have the water to do it. But we're in Texas and that charging station is just tapping into natural gas, and you know what it takes to extract natural gas. We engineer for safety and environment in the oil and gas industry, and so we just kind of have to have a chuckle because people who think they're staunch environmentalists use more oil and gas products than they realize. So anyways, your tow vehicle, you can cut down to a 2-door instead of a 4-door. And then when you choose a more eco-friendly car, you're getting better gas mileage. Anyway, and then if the car dies eventually when it goes to be recycled, there's, whatever percentage less of vehicle that needs to be crushed down when the vehicle goes to be recycled. We kept the Jeep because it's a 2014. It's, like I said, it's paid off. It's very utilitarian. The repairs on it, like these things can go forever. And so we chose a vehicle that is going to go the distance as opposed to some of the other vehicles that we've had that probably wouldn't, or are very expensive to repair. Campfires. A lot of places don't even allow for campfires, but yes, everybody likes to have a campfire, but it releases toxins into the environment. I've had that question raised, like, oh, if you're having campfires every night. Well, we don't have campfires every night. We're working, and then there's a lot of damn mosquitoes, so we're not out there having fires, and there's a lot of fire bans. But at least if you are going to have a campfire, please don't put plastic, metal, a bunch of shit in the campfire. And then the other thing that's super cool about going place to place is that you have the ability to buy local. We went to a farmer's market the first day we got to San Antonio, or the next morning when we woke up, to check out all of the local farms. And I think that's so important to support small business. We do our best to not support mega chains when we can, and supporting the local farmers has been something that we absolutely do. We try to eat in season. Being far south makes it much easier. Being up north, it's very difficult to eat in season. And so we have the luxury, because we chase the sun, to stay in places where there's a lot of good food being grown all the time and in season. And if not, then we can buy the frozen versions of that, which the contents, the nutrients, macro, micro in those fruits and vegetables are not really a negligible amount of degradation to the vitamin and mineral content by freezing. So it's not like you're doing your body a disservice by eating frozen fruits or vegetables. Anyway, I'm going to get down to the energy and water consumption factoids, because this is what people wanted. Hi. Working on what, Michelle? I wanted to get down to what the actual consumption is for a rig about this size. We're 2 people and 2 dogs. We have 1 computer tower with a double monitor. We have an iMac that's off, and then we have 2 laptops. The 2 laptops are off most of the time. If they're on, they run on battery power that we plug in for. The iMac is plugged in but off, and we only turn it on when we're going to use it. And then the computer's put into eco mode when we're not using it, and when we're not here, everything is shut down. When we're driving, the fridge runs on LP. And when we need to dump our gray and black water, that's untreated, and it's going directly into sewer systems to be treated. So energy consumption. We, by and large, are huge environmentalists. It's part of what we do for our engineering company. We're vegans, and we also live this tiny house lifestyle to be as happy in life, but to put the least amount of impact on the planet as we can. And so here's the energy consumption numbers if you want to know. So annual electricity consumption in an RV is this size with 2 people is about 57% less than the average American household, 2 people. The water consumption annually is around 93% less. And I can vouch for that because I know when I'm doing my dishes, we don't have a dishwasher, we don't have a washing machine. I do my dishes in a little bowl with hot water and soap, and I do all of them up, and then I rinse them all, and then they're done. There's no cycles to go through. Laundry machines, everywhere we've gone so far have had commercial laundry machines, and so I'm doing 1 load of laundry every 2 weeks in 1 commercial laundry machine. It costs about $5, but I don't know the energy consumption or the water consumption numbers on that. Estimated electricity use annually for an RV is about 4,900 kilowatts. The average household electricity use is about 11,500. Water use on an annual basis is 9,000 gallons for an RV. Estimated RV use, and then the average household is 127,400 gallons. 9,000 versus 127,400. That's pretty crazy, but it also comes down to flow rates, I think, and then all of the other stuff you're using, washing machines whenever you want, dishwashers whenever you want, and that's just a 2-person household. And so the estimated yearly consumption of energy resources living in an RV is way more earth-friendly than living in the average American home. So if you step back and think about it, it makes a lot of sense. We don't have yards. We live in between 200 and 400 square feet. We follow good weather. We don't drive very far. And if we do drive really far, we stick around for a couple months like we are right now. We were in Galveston for 2 months. We're in San Antonio for 2 months, then we're going up to Canada for 6 weeks, and then we're back down to the hot for a couple of months, and then into Florida for 3 months. So yeah, when we're driving far distances, we stay for longer when we stop. This doesn't even take into consideration like big carbon offenders like lawn tools, airplane travel, hotel stays. So you can really slice and dice it any way you like, but living in an RV is a great opportunity for people to try to be a bit more green. Basically, I have a bunch of other documented numbers, but my conclusion is the proof is in the pudding. You can try your best to be as environmentally friendly as you'd like. But when you're living in a house that you have to manage and you have all of these different things, you need to, oh, I just got a text from my husband and it says, I love you. I love you too. You can try to be as green as you want, but just fact of the matter is living in this way, tiny house living, is a lot more green. If you have any questions about green living, please pass them my way. If you have any questions about living in an RV, please pass them my way. I'm just making this video because I had a few people try to sidle in there and say that because we live in a diesel vehicle and we tow this Jeep that we aren't being environmentally friendly, but I looked up the facts. So there they are. There you have it. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Kuma was up all night because he's got psychological issues and I have a cracking migraine, but guess what? Don't care. It's sunny as outside and I'm going to get on with my day. Thought I'd share these tidbits with you. Love, peace. Bye.